Today on the spot. Today on the spot. Bringing you the latest downloads for your Xbox Live.
This week, Xbox Live.
Also got your downloads for the PC coming too.
This week on PC.
Demos for Knight's Contract and Beyond Good and Evil HD 2.
Come on, knock on our door. We've been waiting for you here today on the spot. I am your host, Kevin Van Ord, and I am accompanied by the great Sophia Tong. How are you today?
Hi, Kevin. Nice Three's Company reference.
Well, I do my best. You know, it's Thursday, February 10th. We've got another big show, as always, coming up for everybody today.
We do.
My favorite part is that we're going to be showing Beyond Good and Evil HD.
I know everyone in the office is really excited about that one.
Makes me happy. We also have a demo for Knight's Contract.
Yes.
Also something to look forward to. And a good thing for all of our viewers is we're giving away codes for Hardcore Uprising, which is an upcoming game coming out for Xbox Live.
I'm actually really excited about that one. I was a huge fan of Contra.
You like Contra?
Yeah, I do.
That game's hard.
It is, but it's co-op, and I like that. I like shooting things cooperatively.
Absolutely. Well, that's not all we've got. Obviously, we've got news. So rather than talk about it, let's just take a look and see what's happening at the news desk.
Hey everyone, it's your GameSpot news update for Thursday, February 10th. I'm Tor Thorson. Activision released its annual earnings report yesterday, and with it several megatons of news. First and foremost, the company has disbanded its Guitar Hero business division and will not release any Hero-branded games in 2011. The company said that in the current climate, the cost of music licenses and manufacturing peripherals is too much for the series to be profitable, given its now low sales volume. Does that mean Guitar Hero is dead? Not necessarily. The only other game to have its own business unit at Activision is Call of Duty, so disbanding the Guitar Hero business doesn't mean that the Guitar Hero IP has been cancelled outright. However, with Activision turning off the DLC spigot at the end of this month and no new Guitar Hero or DJ Hero games on the horizon, the franchise is in a deep, deep coma. Another series on hold is Tony Hawk, with Activision executives saying not to expect a skateboarding game this year. It is unclear when or if the series will return, as Tony Hawk's Shred just sold just 3,000 units in its first week when released last year. One game that's definitely not coming out is True Crime Hong Kong. The open-world crime game had been set to be released for the PC, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360 later this year. It had been in development in Canadian studio United Front Games. Activision Publishing CEO Eric Hirschberg said the decision to cancel True Crime was due to the fact that Activision feels that only top-tier games can be competitive in today's market, and that True Crime wasn't a top-tier game. To be blunt, it wasn't just good enough, he said. Ouch. Well, that's your GameSpot news update for Thursday, February 10th. For more headlines, head on over to news.gamespot.com.
So, of course, later in the show, we'll be giving out some codes for Hardcore Uprising, which is coming out soon for Xbox Live. For more information on downloadable games, let's take a look at This Week on Xbox Live.
This week on Xbox Live, it's a light week, so we'll make it snappy. In arcade, from Tim Schafer's Double Fine Productions, an evil baron has subjugated the masses, and it's up to you to jump into more than 100 unique Russian dolls and use their special abilities to solve a wide variety of puzzles and challenges in order to stop him. After that, put the pedal to the floor in TNT Racers. TNT stands for Tricks and Tracks and is a multiplayer racing game. Enjoy some cool tracks and snappy gadgets that you can use to shut down your fellow racers and cross the finish line first. In Games on Demand, these warriors are small but deadly. It's mini ninjas. Join Hero as he embarks on an epic quest to restore harmony to a world on the brink of chaos. Use your skills and those of 4 other warriors to battle a magical army of evil samurai. Afterwards, there's been a miscommunication with one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in Darksiders. The blame for Armageddon has been placed on your shoulders, and as War, you must carve a bloody trail through angels and demons alike to prove your innocence. In downloadable content, the usual rhythm-based games all add new songs, Mass Effect 2 gets an appearance pack, and You Don't Know Jack starts adding hilarity. In Video Marketplace, Deplob 2 drops 3 trailers, Ace Combat Assault Horizon gets close range, and Red Faction Armageddon reveals a new threat. That's all the time we have, folks. Join us next week for more This Week on Xbox Live.
So obviously, Sophia, there's more coming out this month than just Xbox Live games. You actually had a chance to take a look at a game called Knight's Contract.
Yes, I did.
That?
It's coming out on 360 and PS3. So it's made by the same guys who did Majin and the Forsaken Kingdom,
Good game.
which you reviewed.
I did.
Yes, and I do like Knight's Contract. Action RPG, lots of hacking and slashing, and it's kind of an interesting story set in a fictional medieval times. So.
And it's coming out soon.
It is coming out soon. So to find out more about the game, let's check out our first demo of the day.
Game Demo!
Hey everyone, and welcome to our daily demo. I'm joined by Brandon from Namco, localization producer on Knight's Contract. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
So you're here to show us the game now. Tell us a little bit about Knight's Contract.
So Knight's Contract is a third-person hack-and-slash action game. It takes place in a fictional medieval Europe, and the player controls the main character Heinrich. He's an immortal executioner, and he's partnered with a resurrected witch named Gretchen. And the two of them go throughout the land attempting to stop a group of evil witches and an evil man named Dr. Faust.
Oh, sounds just interesting. Let's jump in and take a look.
Sure.
So how far into the game are you right now?
This is about halfway through the game. The characters have defeated a couple witches, there's a couple more to go. Rapunzel is the witch featured in this level. If you know, she's the one from the fairy tales with the super long hair. And we
Is that her hair everywhere?
Yeah, that's her hair going everywhere.
Gross.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. It's meant to look, resemble spider webs or cobwebs. So throughout this castle, you'll see the hair everywhere.
So do all the witches kind of resemble some kind of fairy tale character, or is it just this one specifically?
Rapunzel especially does. Some of the witches are based off some probably lesser known fairy tales, but some of the character names are taken from either fairy tales or people in real life, but they're not necessarily similar to what they were in whatever media they came from.
A little twist. So it's your basic hack and slash, but you also have witch powers?
Yes, so Heinrich takes care of all of the kind of close range slashing moves. Gretchen, she takes care of all the witchcraft. So what you want to do is try to use two of those as effectively as possible. So as you see right there, Gretchen summons a huge metal weight from the sky, and then Heinrich can jump up and slam it down onto the enemies.
And so your goal here is to not let her die, correct? And he's an immortal, so he can't die.
Right, so Heinrich can't die. He can absorb all the damage he wants, and he'll never die. You'll never get a game over from that. Gretchen, on the other hand, she's a bit more fragile, so the player has to kind of watch out for her. But we have a couple of ways that make keeping her alive, not so much of a chore.
So what are some of the other features in terms of this pairing?
So one of the moves that I showed off earlier was what we call a finisher. That's when Gretchen and Heinrich kind of do a combination move together. It's witchcraft and a slashing move together. If a player can pull off a finisher, they will instantly kill that enemy.
Okay.
And the finisher may also have some additional properties as well.
Oh, I got it.
So here's another one. Giant spikes kind of come out of the ground, and the enemy gets shredded to bits.
Nice. So when you're walking, I noticed that sometimes you kind of pick her up and carry her instead.
Right, so you can hold the shoulder button, and Gretchen will come running to you. You'll also see a compass appear on the ground that will point to where she is. This kind of helps the player keep track of
in case she doesn't get lost.
Yeah, so she doesn't get lost or anything like that. The other advantage is that as long as the player is holding Gretchen, her health will regenerate. So she's at full health now, but normally if you're in a heated battle and she's looking not so great, you can just kind of pick her up and avoid enemies for a little bit, get her health back up. We also have a bunch of items that can assist with health regeneration or max health, and so on and so forth.
So tell us about Gretchen's spells. Does she accumulate more as time goes on, unlock them? How does that work?
Yeah, so Gretchen has a number of spells that she'll be able to use against her enemies. Some of them you'll acquire as you progress through the story. Some have to be unlocked through souls, using souls. Souls are what you gain from defeating enemies.
Okay.
And some you'll only find if you take your time and explore the world very thoroughly.
So is this a list of all that she has right now that she can open?
Right.
Unlock?
So kind of at the top here, we have more basic witchcraft, and the player uses souls to unlock more powerful versions of these.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, so the player can, you know, of course choose, one of the things they can choose to equip as many as they want of one type. So if you're facing a lot of, you know, flying enemies, you might want to equip some multiple anti-air abilities.
Okay, so there's a little some strategic element to that.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so where are we now?
So we've made it inside the castle, and we're being attacked by some homunculi, Dr. Faust's army of artificially created humans.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's like the main bad guy behind this entire story.
Yeah.
So how do these two even end up together? Like what's the details?
Well, 100 years before the events of the game, Gretchen was part of a group of good witches who came to save humanity from the Black Plague. Dr. Faust, he wanted to acquire the witches' powers, so he actually turned all of humanity against these witches and had them executed one by one. Heinrich performed these executions, and Gretchen actually cast a curse of immortality on him right before she was executed. So 100 years later, Gretchen and the other witches have been resurrected, and they've teamed up to take out the evil witches and Dr. Faust.
So Gretchen's the only good witch at this point.
Yeah, she's the only good witch that's left, and that is the reason why that is revealed in the story later, and I hope that players will be looking forward to finding that out.
All right, very cool. So when's the game coming out and on what platform?
Players can look forward to hacking their enemies to bits on February 22nd, and it'll be available on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
All right, well thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so that was our look at Knight's Contract. Now on with the show.
So I love my PC like I love all my gaming machines. Let's check in with Marco Martinez and see what's happening this week on the PC.
This week on PC, we have IGF Excellence in Visual Art nominee The Dream Machine, honorable mentions Neptune's Pride, and Plunk. The Dream Machine is an Excellence in Visual Art nominee in this year's Independent Games Festival. The game is a point-and-click adventure where you play as a couple, Victor and Alicia, who have recently moved into their new apartment and discover an unsettling secret about their new home. The developers wanted to stay away from a polygonal look, so they decided to go with a claymation aesthetic which gives the game a great look. Everything in the world is mostly clickable, with each click having a purpose. The first episode in the game starts you off in Victor's dream, and soon after has you waking up and helping your girlfriend Alicia with the household duties. From there you get to explore the new apartment and begin to discover a disturbing secret that leads you to the next episode. The first episode is available to play for free, and the second episode is available to purchase now, with other episodes releasing each month. Next, we have Neptune's Pride, a Seamus McNally Grand Prize honorable mention. Neptune's Pride is a real-time strategy game where a winner is declared after a player captures half of the stars in the galaxy. Different factors play into how you capture new stars. You can interact, trade, and battle other players, as well as upgrade your own scientific research and natural resources. If you're looking for a fast-paced action game, then this is definitely not for you. You're pretty limited with the moves you can make at a given time, but communication with other players helps offset that. However, hardcore strategy gamers might be up for this type of challenge and welcome the change in pace. Finally, we have Plunk, an Excellence in Audio honorable mention. Plunk is a 3D musical shooter where the objects you shoot emit different sounds. When done in succession, the shooting you do results with the sound of the music. In the game, you start off with a basic instrument, but as you move along, you can unlock more instruments by submerging underwater when you see a golden line and following the path to receive a new instrument. In order to release these instruments, you must destroy a certain amount of objects known as motes, which contain them, and after doing so, the golden path will be unlocked. The game is still in development and will let you know when a demo is available. I'm Marco Martinez, and that's it for this week on PC.
So that was this week on the PC, but we're moving past the PC right now. We've got a very special treat. Actually, Chris Waters, whenever we spend time together, it's a special treat.
Aw, shucks, Kevin.
But today, you're making it even extra special. Why is that?
Because I have brought Beyond Good and Evil HD to share with everybody. You, me, all of you.
There are great people out there. I'm excited.
Yeah?
This is one of my favorite games of all time. You're excited. This is right up there on your list, too.
It's true. Well, so let's jump right in. We're going to see sort of an opening cutscene in the first start area to this game.
They're coming. Quick, Ven, jump up.
And in the world of Hillis humans, there it is,
there
Jade. She's awesome. In the world of Hillis, humans coexist with sort of anthropomorphic animals, like that little goat-looking boy.
It was like a furry convention. That's kind of what you're saying.
I mean, it's probably like what you would aspire to at a furry convention.
Okay.
Because this is like, you know, fully integrated society.
That's true.
But that's a dream that will be tough to realize.
Not on Hillis.
So here Jade is trying to activate the lighthouse shield to shield it from these meteors. Or are they? And she's pretty nimble, as you can see. Unfortunately.
Not always nimble enough.
Orphans are not so nimble, and so they have gotten themselves in a little tight spot here.
Yeah.
And these creatures we meet are part of the invading force called the Doms. They are the primary antagonist of Beyond Good and Evil HD. As you can see, capturing children, feeding off their life force, and really just asking for a beatdown,
Yeah,
if you ask
pretty much.
me. So here we go. I'm tapping X to sort of smack these guys, and if I do it, you know, right now you can see it as told in the top, to me in the top left-hand corner, X is my sole fight button. But if I do it, you know, with good timing, you'll see a little flash. Those little flashes of light on my burning stick will trigger sort of a more acrobatic thing if I can. Oh yeah, that's right. Don't try to sneak up from behind me. I like that backflip move, that was cool.
Absolutely. And of course there's more fun in combat to come, but we don't quite have the staff that you need to make that happen. Right now we're fighting with Flaming Torch.
It's true. Jade, not one to be deterred by a lack of proper weaponry, knows that a burning stick is just as good as anything for beating up horrible child abducting aliens. Wow! And so this is slowed down. This is like in slow motion, the music is swelling up. This game's got a really good flair for the dramatic.
Oh yes, absolutely.
That's one of the things that makes it so great.
And it never lets it go.
It's true.
Except maybe for a little comic relief, but we'll see some of that a little bit.
But you know, comedy and drama go hand in hand. You gotta have a little comedic relief if you're gonna heighten the sense of drama later.
Absolutely. Shakespeare understood it, and now so does
And
Jade.
so apparently did Michel Ancel, creator of Beyond Good and Evil.
Whoa, that's some halitosis right there.
Gnarly alien halitosis. Oh, we're having some visions. Foreshadowing. What was all that about?
Stay tuned. And of course, a fine sidekick.
Uncle Paige!
Yay. Ouch. Pigs are heavy.
Oh yeah, Uncle Paige coming in with a clutch butt stomp, as well as the delivery of the Daijo, which is Jade's powerful staff, which allows her to do fancy stuff like that attack I just did. In the eye, that's his Achilles heel. I like that line. Uncle Paige, definitely some of the comedic relief in Beyond Good and Evil. So charging up to release this guy's sort of protective dome area. A is sort of dodge, as you can see. I can eat something on the fly to like not succumb to my wounds, but I'm doing okay right now.
Yeah, chances are you're not going to need it in this.
I think I may have just kicked Uncle Paige a little bit.
He'll be alright.
But he's a pretty hardy pig fan thing. Yeah!
Boom!
Gotcha! Take that!
Big evil eye claw creature.
And so you can see, I mean, you know, you can tell that sort of this game has a very stylistic look, and it's an HD remake. It looks super sharp compared to the last one. I mean, you're not going to mistake it for sort of a beautifully created in the modern day, all these assets game, but like it looks really good. Just that graphical boost puts it at this a great level so that it's not a barrier for people to enjoy.
Right.
Now,
and as we all know, you know, great art design shines through regardless of the technology bringing it to life most of the time.
That's
so,
true.
Yeah.
And you can talk to the characters in the world. They're not voice acted all the way through and through, but you know, you can find out Paige is worried about the Doms. He's okay on energy, so let's just go over here, pick up this pearl. Pearls are, you come to find out, the currency in this world.
Absolutely.
And so you use them throughout the course of your adventure. You earn them in different ways. One of the more iconic ways being photographing animals, you know, throughout the world. Also through combat, and use it to upgrade your ability, maybe not your abilities, but certainly your mode of transportation.
Absolutely.
And other things. And you do it all sort of through this AI interface.
It's actually kind of sad we won't be getting a chance to see some of the watercraft sequences in Beyond Good and Evil, which were some of my favorite moments.
That's true. Yeah. If you in that early scene, all right. So yeah, it actually chronicles the specific pearls you get throughout. So you know, that's one of the great things for folks who like to complete games, who like to fully explore them. It gives you that. It tracks it the whole way, so you can really like 100% it. And this game makes you want to because it's such a cool world to explore. And we'll end with just a quick introduction to the Alpha section. These guys are, you know, the government group that is supposedly keeping the area safe. Well, we know how much of a role they had in keeping us safe just then. So.
But you know, this is the typical thing where, you know, the powers that be want to take credit for the wondrous and magnificent defeat of the enemies that have invaded.
Absolutely.
But Chris, tell us again when Beyond Good and Evil HD is coming out.
So it'll be available on Xbox Marketplace March 2nd, a scant 3 weeks away. It's also coming out for PlayStation Network, but I don't think they've announced a release date for that one yet.
Well, I'm excited, you're excited, Tom McShay is excited. Pretty much everybody in the world should be excited about this game.
You should be too.
So thanks for coming by, Chris. Now let's take a look at the rest of the show.
And now it's trivia time, and we are giving those Hardcore Uprising codes away, and Kevin has a question.
Absolutely. So if you want to win one of 10 codes for Hardcore Uprising, answer this question. Hardcore Uprising refers to a Contra game that's been released in the past. Tell us what system that Contra game was released for. If you think you know the answer, hit the green button over to the right that says Answer Trivia, or send us an email at onthespot@gamespot.com. So Sophia, that brings another Today on the Spot to a close.
Yes, it does. I'm sad.
I know it's very sad. Will you look back nostalgically on this day?
I will. I look back nostalgically on every day.
Absolutely. Well, there's stuff to look forward to, though, right?
Exactly. So tomorrow we will air our final third round Marvel vs. Capcom 3 tournament, and you guys will find out who the winner is.
And there's other stuff hitting the site, reviews, previews, and more. So rather than have us sit around and talk about it, go to the site and look. So we're going to say goodbye for now, but on behalf of me, I was your host, Kevin Van Ord.
And I'm Sophia Tong.
Until later, we wish you a great weekend. So Sophia, another show comes to a close.
Yes.
Will you regret... Can I do that again? Will you regret?
Will I regret
that
what?
You joined us on the show? I was going to say, do you have...
Do you have any regrets?
Will you miss... You know, will you look back on this day nostalgically? I'll try again.